Hi guys, James here, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm so excited because I am going to be playing with my Dose of Colours Black Friday sale order. Now this palette is the Trevor X Dose of Colours Eternal Love eyeshadow palette. Quite small, it's actually a lot smaller than what I thought it was. I just thought it was going to be a lot bigger, but it's a bit smaller than what I thought. Then I did pick up the 6 individual shadows that they had on sale for $5 a piece, which is very, very affordable. I did have the price list here. So I bought six shadows for $5 each. Then we also have the Trevor Limited Edition Eternal Love Eyeshadow Palette final sale. This is the final sale. I thought they were going to have it for longer, but it did come out earlier in the year or last year, and I managed to pick it up for $33.80. I don't know if it's still available on the website. I will actually tell you what the full price for this palette is. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Hi guys, editing me here. I know I look like a mess, but I just want to mention the prices that I show you from the Dose of Colours website. That's actually in Australian dollars. So it says $80 for the palette, but that's $80 Australian. So for the US palette full price, I think it's about $55. And for the single shadows, they retail for $30.98 Australian. But I think in US prices, in like full price, they are $20, I think. And then obviously I got them for $5 US each on sale. So I want to quickly mention that. Okay, enjoy the video.
And I'll put that up on the screen if it's still available on their website. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. Now it did come in this little box. I did open it up off camera. I actually did my base on TikTok Live, and I really love the way it came out. It is really hot, so I'm sweating on the forehead a little bit, so I have to clean that up later. But I'm actually really happy with how the face actually looks. But yeah, this is the box it came in. It has the little Trevor X Dose of Colours. I think that's really cool. It was all bubble wrapped. We also did get this little card with Trevor's face on it. Now, if you don't know who Trevor is, he is an influencer. I think he's mainly on TikTok and Instagram. I know he's quite big on Instagram. I don't know if he's got a YouTube channel, but he's an influencer of some kind on the social medias. He also does have a little tutorial on the back how to do eyeliner, which is pretty cool. I don't do like eyeliner, so I probably won't use that, but very, very talented. And then there are also a whole lot of these holographic little stickers in there, which is really cool. It has Trevor's name, then it says make an impact, love. We've got the little Dose of Colours symbol. We've got the pride, heart, Dose of Colours in the actual writing. So that's really cool. I'm going to keep those, put them in the box. But yeah, let's open up the eyeshadow palette and show you what I'm working with today. It is quite a neutral eyeshadow palette, but does have some pops of colours, which I do enjoy. And I did want to buy this when it initially came out, but I didn't have the funds for it, and I just waited. I always like to wait for a sale. And guys, this is what the palette looks like. Very, very pretty. It does have some purples and some blues and greens, but it is also a neutral eyeshadow palette as well. It does have a mirror. It did have a little plastic thing in there, but I've taken that out. And yeah, I'm really, really happy and excited to play with this palette. So that's the palette we're working with today. But let me show you these individual shadows. Now, I don't know where my tweezers are. I do have a problem opening these types of little packages. I don't think I'll keep the actual boxes anyway, so it doesn't matter if I rip them. Now guys, while I open these up, I've only ever had one Dose of Colour eyeshadow that I've tried, which was an individual one. I've never had an eyeshadow palette. I did initially get 2, but one of them turned up broken, so I only ever got to play with the one. And I think I'll show you the shade that I still have, which is one of my favourite single shadows that I own. It's like a charcoal matte black, but a shimmer. Oh my goodness, it's so hard to rip these. I'm just ripping the boxes. It's so hard to get them out. I might need to actually find my tweezers to actually open the little compacts. This is what the compacts look like, and it's very hard for me to get my fingers in and open that. So I will probably get my tweezers in a second. But let me take all of these out. They do come in this like matte cardboard packaging, which is always hard to keep clean, so that's just another reason I'm going to get rid of the packaging. Ugh. Now, it is a vegan and cruelty-free brand, which is always good. We love that on this channel. And these shadows do have a 12-month expiry date, and so does the eyeshadow. So 12 months expiry date for both of those, which is great. Gives me a lot of time to play with everything. Now, I always keep my eyeshadow palettes longer than the expiry date. It's just a suggestion. But some you'll actually know when it's expired within that 12 months period, because the shadows go really dry. But most of my eyeshadow palettes do last longer than the expiry date, the suggestion. Alright, I've got all of these open. Let's see if I can get some tweezers. Oh, we've got these. Oh, we did have, yeah, we got these lash tweezers. We'll open up with these. So actually, let me show you the one. I'm going everywhere. Let me show you the one I already have. Now this is in the shade I Need Space, and it's just a really pretty like black charcoal grey, really pretty, nice shimmer, very creamy, still creamy after having it for 2 years, so that's why I'm still keeping that one. Let's open this one. So this is in the shade Teal Me More, and it's, oh my goodness, look how pretty this blue. Like that is so pretty. It's almost got a shift to it. That is really pretty, and I love the sizes of these. For $5, you get quite a lot of product for the $5, and I'm very happy with that. Actually $20, but $5 on sale. We have this shade, which is Sizzle, and it's like almost a red shimmer. Very pretty as well, really pretty. I only pick up the shimmers because I love shimmers, and these shimmers, or at least the one that I initially had, the formula is just out of this world, and I've used it multiple times. Actually, this is the one that initially came broken to me. Olive View. I never got to use this one because it was completely shattered. So it's like an olive green, really pretty. So that is a replacement for the one that I never got to really play with. Why am I putting them over there? I need to use them. I'm putting them back in the drawer. Let me actually keep them next to me because I might use them in this tutorial. I don't know. The next one we have is X-Ray. Now this is very similar to the first one, which is like a black, but this is darker, I think. Like a black grey. The other one's a bit more grey. Another pretty shadow. Two more. This one here is Night Sky, which is probably going to be a black. Oh no, it's like a greeny grey. Very pretty. It does have green in it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but very pretty. And then lastly we have Hot Mesh. Now, can't even... Oh, this is like a brown charcoal. That's pretty. So those are all the shimmers there. I will do some swatches, and I'll put that in the video while I open all of these, so you can see them actually swatched on the back of my hand. I won't do it right now because I just don't want it all over my arm throughout this video, but I will show you those swatches in a second, or while I'm unboxing all of those for you. And I will swatch this palette as well for you. This is the palette we're using. I have done my eyes already with the primer. I will just pat that down because it might be a little creased. Now that I've been talking for a while, it has creased. So let me just put that down a little bit. I've cleaned my brushes, so we are set to go. I'm just really loving how good my base is. I know I'm like sounding like I'm like full of myself, but my base does not look like this or this good in person for a long time, so I'm very happy with that. Alright guys, now this is the palette. I'm not going to peel the little mirror sticker off because I just don't really use my mirrors. I have the mirror here. I am going to do a very neutral look matte wise, and then I'll put a little bit of colour because I'm really interested to play with this shade Starlight, and then this shade, I think I'm going to go with Stained Glass, this deep bluish purple. I was going to go in with this one, but I think I feel like I want to go into that one. So let's get my brushes. We have my Morphe brushes right now. Actually, I cleaned all of the ones in here, so I'm quite happy. I've got quite a lot of choices to play with. So I'm just going to pick out the ones I usually use quite a lot. This is going to be a very quick tutorial. The video might be long because I talk a lot, but the actual tutorial part won't be too long. So let's get straight into it. We've got my Morphe little brush. This is the Morphe X Nikita Dragon collaboration brush. I don't support her, but the brush is really good and it was on sale, so we're just going to use it. We are going to go into the shade Harmonic, which is this middle shade here. Now, there are 15 shades in this. I'm quite happy that I paid only $33 for 15 shades. I do understand that palettes that have like a collaboration with an influencer usually retail for a bit more, so both parties can make some money. But I don't think I would pay $45 or $50 US for a 15-pound eyeshadow palette. I think that's quite a lot, so that's why I waited until it was on sale. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. It might zoom in for you guys a little bit more. There you go. Just so you can see what it looks like. I'm just putting it on the outer corner, and then I'll blend it into the crease. I'll use a lighter shade in the inner part of my eye, is what I'm trying to say. But so far that's blending out really nicely. Back to what I was saying, I don't think I'd pay full price for a palette like this for 15 shades, because a $50 palette US retails for about $75, and that's not with the tax or the shipping included, so it's quite expensive for what it is. but I really wanted to try this brand, and I said in my previous video that this year I really want to try brands that I've always had my eye on but never actually tried. So this is one of those brands that I was talking about, and I'm really happy with this shade so far. So that's one brand I can tick off because I've got this little eyeshadow palette. Like I said, I did try one single shadow, but I just didn't think that was enough for me to say, yes, I've tried this brand, because I've only tried one eyeshadow shimmer and never the mattes. So now that I have this palette and I can play with it, I can actually really tell you if I like this brand or not eyeshadow formula wise. That is just blending out so nicely. Look how pretty that is. Very easy. I'm just tapping into the pan a little bit because I don't want any fallout on my face since I've already done the base. Normally I do my eyes, so it doesn't really matter, but because I've done all my base already, I don't want any fallout on my face. That's really pretty, like a chocolate brown. Very pretty. So guys, I am back and I finished both eyes with that shade Harmonic, and I love the way it blended out. It's such a soft brown, but you can build out the edges, and I really love the way it looks. And now we're going to go into this shade Honeymoon, which is a little bit darker. It's a shade next to it, and we're just going to put that on the outer corner and just blend that into the crease because I want to deepen it up a little bit, which is quite normal for me. I like to have a darker outer corner, and then my inner corner I like to have a bit lighter. So we're just going to darken up the outer corner very quickly. Very nice shade. It is blending out really nicely. So far I'm really happy with how easy these shades are to blend. Now I am sweating a little bit on the forehead because it is very hot here, and under these beauty lights, even if I have an aircon on, it's still quite hot. So we're just going to ignore that. Now we'll clean all of that up off camera in a second. But oh, look how pretty that is. So I'm just going to quickly focus on blending that out. I'm not going to bring it any more into the eye socket area. I'm just going to leave it here where it is, and now we're just going to blend on the outer corner and into the crease a little bit towards the outer corner of the eyebrow here. Alright guys, so this is what my eye looks like now with that shade Honeymoon. I'm just going to go off camera and do the other side, and then I will be right back. And we are back. I've done the other eye off camera with that shade Honeymoon, and I'm really happy with the blend. We are now going to go into the lightest matte shade, which is the shade First Light, this one here. And I'm just going to put that into the inner corner because I want to brighten that up a little bit. I'm not putting too much on. I just want to test out the formula and just lighten up the inner corner ever so slightly, because I do like a lighter inner corner, and that will just help blend those lines a little bit more as well. Just packing it on. I'm not really even blending, I'm just packing it on. As you can see, it is starting to go a little ashy with that deeper shade, but that's okay. We're going to put some shimmer over it. That literally took 30 seconds to do both eyes. Now comes the fun part. Now I do have to be careful because, like I said, I've done the base already and I don't want any shimmer to fall out under my eyes. But we are going to start off with the, what shade was I going to do? We're going to start off with the stained glass shade. Oh, that's really creamy. That's a bit chunky. So I'm just going to press it down into the pan so I don't get too much chunkiness on my finger. So that's what it looks like on my finger. Really pretty. It does have like a little bit of a shift, which is nice. I don't want it to go all over my face. I'm just going to tap the excess off onto the paper towel in front of me. We're just going to press it into the eyelid. I'm not swiping because if I swipe it might cause fallout. That's what it looks like there. Really pretty actually. If I did my eyes first, I feel like I would be a bit more confident in pressing this shadow on with a bit more pigment onto my finger, but it is really pretty, and that's a very light coverage of that shimmer. Very creamy, very buttery. I mean, that is stunning. I will blend the edges out with some of that darker matte shade in a second, but so far, I mean, I am impressed with the mattes and this shimmer that I've used. Like, that is really pretty, really pretty. Very nice, soft, neutral look with a pop of colour. So we're just going to bring that in to the middle of the eyelid. That's a pretty colour. I'm very happy with that, and I do love my blues. So I've used a lot of blue shimmers and blue mattes, and I can tell you this formula is That is a really good formula. Now we're going to do the other side, same type of deal, a little bit of pigment, and just pressing into the eyelid with my finger. Oh, that's so pretty. Alright guys, I'm happy with the blue. I will blend out the mattes in a second, but I just want to play with this white shimmer first. This is the shade Starlight, and I think it's more of an eyeshadow topper rather than a full, like, yeah, it's more of an eyeshadow topper. That's what it looks like. So it's not going to give too much pigment. It's just going to give like a nice glossy glass finish on my eye, hopefully. So we're just going to put that in the inner corner. I am going to have to blend those two shades quite a lot. This is more of a hard press shimmer. It's not really coming off in my finger like the other shade. I'm pressing down quite hard to get any pigment, but it is there. It's just a little bit more work than say that blue, but it does just mean I'm going to have to blend out a little bit more with my finger, those two shades together. That is pretty though. That is pretty. And now guys, I'm just trying to blend those two shades together so there's less of a harsh line there. And it's blending out quite nicely. There's like no fallout on my face, which is really good. Look how pretty that is. It's blended out quite nicely. We are going to put a little bit more in the inner corner. Because I've got sausage-like fingers, I'm going to actually pick it up on this little brush here. And normally I don't use a brush, but because I don't want any like shimmer on my nose, which is what normally happens when I try and use my finger to get right in the inner corner, we're just going to use this little packing brush from Morphe. So I'm just going to pack it on into the inner corner, and we're going to blend as we go. Now guys, this palette I definitely feel like you can use as an everyday palette just for the matte row on the top because they blend out so nicely. But if you do want a little bit of pop of colour when you're going out on the town or something like that, you do have these beautiful pinks, purples, blues, this green, and then this like white iridescent shade, which will be perfect for an inner corner highlighter or brow highlighter. And that is the shade Starlight in the inner corner. That is done. I'm just going to dip into the shade Honeymoon, which is the deeper brown, and I'm going to blend the blue shimmer and the dark brown matte on the outer corner here together. Then I'll just do the other side off camera, but I want to show you on camera what I'm doing here with this eye. I'm just tapping that pigment on. I don't want to swipe it off because I don't want any fallout on my face. And that is the blend all done on this side. So you can see the blend there compared to this eye. I still have to blend out where that shimmer and that matte on the outer corner meet. This is the before, and then we have the after. So you can see a little bit of a blend happening there. I'm just going to go off camera and quickly do this eye. And while I'm off camera, I'm going to do the bottom lash line as well. I'm just going to use the same mattes that I've used on the eyelid itself. So I'm not going to be using any of the new shades. So I'm just going to do the bottom lash line off camera. I'll put some lashes on, some lipstick. Then I'll come back and we can do the brow highlighter, the inner corner highlighter, and then also the cheek highlighter because I haven't done that. So let me do that and I'll be right back. And I am back, and this is the final look. I've done the lipsticks, I've done the lashes, I've done the bottom lash line, and I'm really happy with the final result. I haven't done highlighter, so let's do that, and I do feel this lash is going to jump ship any second, so I might have to reapply that before I take some photos after this video. But I'm really happy with the way it looks, so let's quickly do some highlighter. I've got my little highlighter fan brush, and we're going in with the Glamlite Hershey's Cookies and Cream highlighter. This one here is the shade. Okay, it doesn't say what shade it is. It's the white shade. I'm going to put a little bit on both sides of this brush. This is a very intense highlighter, so we're just going to go very lightly here. It is a little bit of a glitter highlighter. Sometimes it does show up texture, but I mean, I just love it so much. So let's just quickly do this side. It's so, like, it's blinding. I love this highlighter. I'm so happy I picked up the Cookies and Cream highlighter palette, and also the Cookies and Cream and Milk Chocolate eyeshadow palette. I haven't played with the Milk Chocolate Glamlite palette yet, but I have played with the Cookies and Cream one, and I absolutely love it. So I will have to do a makeup tutorial with that Glamlite chocolate palette, but this highlighter is starting a little bit on the nose. And now it's going to switch to a little pointer brush, and I'm going to put a little bit of this highlighter in the inner corner, because I haven't got one in the inner corner yet, and I just want a blinding inner corner. And this highlighter is very similar to the Starlight shade that I used out of that palette, which is a soft white shimmer shade. This lash is coming up, so we'll have to reapply that. But to finish off this look, let's put a little bit on the brow bone right here to highlight how uneven my brows are. That, guys, is the finished look. I am really happy with it. This lash is coming off, so I'm going to have to reapply that before I take some photos. But I am really happy with the final result. And I'm actually really happy with the base as well. I did get a little bit sweaty on the forehead, so I've had to stop and pat that away, so it's not looking 100%, but the bottom half of my face I'm really happy with, especially the cheek area. I'm so happy with this look. This eyeshadow palette is stunning. I'm really happy I picked it up, and I love that I picked it up on sale. I think these matte shades here on the top row are probably some of my favourite matte neutral shades I've ever played with. There are only six matte shades. I didn't play with the black shade. I did play with this whole entire bottom row except this shade. So I used 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I used this shimmer and then this shimmer. So I used 6 shades out of the 15 in this palette, which is a pretty good number for a neutral eyeshadow look. I'm really happy that I managed to pick this palette up, and the fact that this was on its final sale and by the sounds of it not coming back, I'm very lucky that I managed to pick it up when I did. And I can definitely see myself playing with this a lot more, especially the green shade, like this green and this purple. It just has my name all over it, so I'm going to be playing with this palette a lot more in the future. Everything else I have on my face I will link down below. Now the lashes that I have on are Sephora lashes. This is the second pair that I have. They do flare out and they are very easy to apply, but they have a very thin lash band, so you can't put as much glue as what I normally would on my other drugstore lashes, and I think that's why this one is jumping ship. But I will reapply that in a second, and I'll take some photos when it's all glued down. But yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it was a very neutral eyeshadow look that I did with a pop of colour, but I do hope you enjoyed this tutorial nonetheless. And if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and also check out my Instagram and TikTok, because I do post a lot of things on there that I don't post up on here. And with that guys, I'm going to go because I'm starting to sweat on the forehead again, and I want to take some photos before it all melts away. So I'm going to love and leave you, and I will see you in the next one. All my love. Bye.